Do you think President Trump will lose support from voters who are not willing to wait and see the end results of the tariffs? In other words, we know that the tariffs will give him bargaining power and in the end more business and jobs back in America. But some seem to be frightened of his aggressive moves, Sandra. That's a very good thought, but I'm going to tell you right now, don't be a panican. That's a new word President Trump came up with. You see, look, it took us decades to get here. Decades to get to $36 trillion in debt. It took decades for our factories to shut down and our jobs sent overseas. It took decades for us to all fall into this terrible, it's basically a grave that America has been put in and dug by our federal government. So I support President Trump so much. And you know who he's standing up against? China. That is exactly who he's standing up against. China has stolen our intellectual property. China has stolen so much of our trade. China has spied on the United States and Americans. And President Trump is standing up for us and American companies, and he is stopping it. I don't know about you guys. I don't want a war with China, but we can beat them economically. And that's exactly what President Trump's doing. Do you see an even role for DOGE at the federal and state level, Larry? Absolutely. I think reducing waste, fraud, and abuse should be in every part of government. Yeah, it should. And I encourage you all to push to make that happen. Oh, and I think it is happening in Georgia. I've heard there's over 70 counties that are creating DOGE groups. So I think it's already on its way. What are you doing to reduce national debt, not just slow its growth, Patricia? Patricia, this is a great question. So reducing our national debt is going to happen in multiple ways. Here's how it's working. President Trump is growing our economy. I think he has around $7 trillion of commitments from companies that are bringing that money, $7 trillion into our economy by bringing their companies here, manufacturing and creating jobs. Another way that we can do that is, of course, reduce the size and scope of the federal government. President Trump is already starting that by getting rid of the Department of Education, getting rid of USAID, NPR, PBS, and many other waste and fraud. He's also cutting contracts, useless contracts, things that you all would never pay for yourself if you knew what they were. And also stopping ridiculous grants funding things that we should never fund, not just here in America, but in countries all over the world. So that's a part of reducing the spending. But it's very important not only to reduce spending, but to grow our economy. And that's how we can rein in national debt.